Hi, welcome to Feel the Boot. I'm Lance, and today I want to talk about how to start your investment pitch. I hear and read a lot of pitches, and most of them lose me very early on. I want to help you make sure you're not one of them. One of the things that really frustrates me in pitches is when I have no idea what's going on. The founder is diving into details and getting into minutia right from the start, but I don't even know what kind of a company is this. Is this a product? Is it a service? What's going on here? And while I'm thinking that, I'm probably not really following all of their arguments. I'm trying to get that piece of information. What is this all about? This is sort of universally true of all presentations. If your audience has some nagging question in their head, they're really not listening to you until they get that answer. So make sure you answer the fundamental question right up front. Another reason to focus on the start of your presentation is it's one of the two most important parts, the beginning and the end. The first thing your audience hears and the last thing they hear are the things they will remember most. So don't waste that opening. Don't spend time throat clearing or making extended introductions. You want to make sure the first thing you talk about is important and will grab your audience. Fortunately, these two things go together. You want to open with a strong statement about what your company is and what it's doing, why it exists. I like to think of this sort of like cinematography. In a movie, you don't jump into a close-up on someone's eye right from the get-go, unless you're an auteur and you really know what you're doing. Generally, you're going to start with a wide shot, an establishing shot that allows the audience to know, here's what's going on, here's where we are, here's the context that the next scenes are going to be in. And then you can cut to a medium, really be able to see the characters, and then you can start going in on the close-ups, really drilling down to the nuance of the performance and the acting. Well, you need to do the same thing in your decks. You have to start with that establishing shot or your audience is going to be lost. And remember to keep this to broad strokes. We're not looking for details yet. You'll get into those details in the pitch, or maybe in the due diligence, depending on how much time you have for the pitch. But to start with, I just need to understand generally, where are you coming from? What kind of company do you have? Because in some cases, I get well into it and I have no idea, is this a product? Is this a SaaS service? Is this standalone software? Are you providing consulting? What kind of thing is this? So in addition to talking about maybe the size of the market, which I often hear is the opening, I need to understand, where do you fit into that? So let me give you some examples from a couple of companies that I know or have worked with and give you a sense of how I might open by pitching them. And the first was a sports social media app. When you leave college, you lose that experience of hanging out with your friends and watching sports live, watching the college games. And it's something a lot of people miss very strongly. This app allows you to virtually hang out with your friends and trash talk each other during real live sporting events and recreate that feeling even though you're scattered to all corners of the world. Another example was a company that had a system for deploying generators and solar panels in a shipping container. So I might start off by saying, from disasters to remote locations to developing countries, reliable power is a common problem. The most common solution is to deploy custom-made microgrids, but the time and expense in designing them is substantial. We deliver ready-to-go power solutions in a container, delivered to the site and assemblable by people with minimal expertise and only basic tools. And because it's a standardized process, it's both cheaper and more reliable than alternatives. Let's take a look at how I might pitch Tesla. You might say, people these days are looking for a green lifestyle, but they don't want to sacrifice to get it. We're providing an all-electric vehicle with efficiencies far beyond anything available with internal combustion engines. The car is extremely luxurious and has a brand that you'll be proud to be driving, while at the same time providing fantastic performance. It's the fastest car you'll ever drive. Or how about a medical device company that I invested in? they're solving a problem with psoriasis. So, psoriasis affects millions of people. It's a debilitating condition, and unfortunately, the existing treatments are minimally effective, have major side effects, or are very burdensome to take on. They're inpatient hospital situations. What we've done is taken the most effective in-hospital treatment and turned it into an easy-to-use at-home medical device with the same level of efficacy. It will revolutionize the treatment of this disease. So, in all of these examples, I'm trying to very quickly get the audience's head around what is this thing I'm doing? What's the problem? And what kind of solution am I bringing to the table? So, in your pitch, make sure you clearly articulate what is the problem, what are you solving, what kind of business do you have? Orient your listener so they have a context for everything else in your pitch. And you'll be able to bring them along much farther. And make sure you don't lose half your audience in the first 30 seconds. Thanks for watching this episode of Feel the Boot. I hope you found it useful and interesting, and if so, please like and subscribe. Then click the bell icon to be notified when new episodes come out. I upload new content every other week, and I'd love to hear from you what topics you'd like to see me cover. I'd also really appreciate it if you could share this with other entrepreneurs. I'm trying to help as many people as I can, and I know from personal experience, there's a lot of people that need to hear this kind of advice. Till next time, ciao.